Here north of the border, you've been missing out on what is often the most interesting part of the presidential race, the attack ads. Well, until now. Each week, we will bring you the latest on the ongoing ad war down south. Let's take a look at the two very latest ads.
14.1% in taxes last year. He keeps millions in Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. He won't release his tax returns before 2010. Maybe instead of attacking others on taxes, Romney should come clean on his.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Fewer Americans are working today than when President Obama took office. It doesn't have to be this way. If Obama would stand up to China. China is stealing American ideas and technology, everything from computers to fighter jets. 7 times Obama could have taken action. 7 times he said no. His policies cost us 2 million jobs. Obama had years to stand up to China. We can't afford 4 more.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approved this message.
Warren Kinsella, Sun News contributor, has spent some time in political war rooms and knows ad wars better than anyone. He joins me now from Toronto. Warren, thanks for being here. So do you think the Republican slogan works? We can't afford 4 more years?
Well, that's what every challenger always says about every incumbent. I think that their ad is not bad. You know, aesthetically, it's quite well done. You know, lots of doomy minor chords and the black and white imagery, and nothing that actually is a disrespectful photo of the president. The thing that I would question is this strategy of focusing in on China. I'm not sure, given the fact that, you know, millions of Americans lined up for an iPhone last week, they regard China or Chinese manufacturing strength as a threat to their existence. Maybe the research the Republicans have got bear that out, but I think that that's a strategy that may not work in the final analysis.
Do you think it might be more effective in the Rust Belt states?
Yeah, and that's where Romney over the weekend was in Colorado. Ryan was in Ohio. The president was in Wisconsin. And, you know, in places like the Carolinas, for example, where unemployment is very high, manufacturing's taken a hit, that is where the Republicans need to focus. The problem is, I mean, it's incredible when you think of it. There's only 7 days left until early polls open in Iowa. And in a place like Iowa, for example, Romney has poured a ton of money and given a ton of attention to Iowa. And NBC came out with a poll on Thursday night showing that Obama was 8 points ahead in the state. So if I was a Republican strategist, I'd be getting pretty frustrated right about now.
Let's look at the Democrat ad then for a second. They attack Romney on the tax issue and the 47%, but there doesn't seem to be a call to action. It doesn't ask voters to do anything. I guess it's just supposed to raise discomfort about Romney.
What they're asking voters to do, I guess the call to action, because you're absolutely right, is just say, remember last week that Mother Jones tape and Jimmy Carter's grandson and all that stuff? Well, we want you to remember what he said about 47% of Americans. Half the country, you know, he said don't pay taxes, and he suggested that they were lazy and so on. They don't want people to forget that. Well, why is that? It's because they've had an embarrassment of riches in the Obama campaign. There's just been a whole number of mistakes going back to the convention with the famous Clint Eastwood moment of craziness. And it's just been a bad day practically every day for Mr. Romney. So I think the Obama guys are saying we've got to get people focusing on his tax returns again and the fact that he's this out-of-touch rich guy, and we got to get them to focus on his 47% thing. So I think that's what that ad is aimed at.
So if you're Romney then, how do you fight back against something like that?
Well, he started to say, you know, a president should represent 100% of Americans, and of course that's true. The problem for him is Obama got there first within about 5 minutes of the Mother Jones tape leaking out and causing a worldwide sensation, not just a sensation within the United States. I mean, the big problem that Mitt Romney has got is Mitt Romney. He, you know, he just seems very much, he embodies the notion of the out-of-touch rich guy. You know, you can picture him stepping off a yacht, you know, and eating canapes and coming to some debutante's, you know, coming out party. And he just doesn't seem like a guy who's in sync with the everyday preoccupations of everyday Americans. And that is, I don't know, how does he remake himself between now. It's 46 days left. I mean, does he start dropping his G's all over the place? He started doing that over the weekend, and everybody started making fun of him.
Well, there are other debates, and that could really change the entire campaign.
That's right. Less than 2 weeks to the debate. And, you know, the classic line of guys like me is, you know, I want to go into the debates being an underdog. Well, there's no question his people are going to say that because he is decidedly the underdog. He should be ahead in Iowa. He should be doing well in Ohio. He should be ahead in the Carolinas, Nevada, Florida, and so on. He's not. So he is the underdog. So the expectations for him in that debate are very low. And quite frankly, you know, I'm a big fan of the president, but I thought his speech at the Democratic National Convention just a few days ago really wasn't very good. And it didn't have that passion, you know, from 2008. So who knows, you know, is it possible for Romney to score a knockout punch? For sure. That's why guys like us are attracted to politics.
All right, Warren, thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.